Can a mother be held liable for her child's death in a situation like this? Let's bring in our legal panel, criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool and Faith Jenkins, a former prosecutor. Great to have you both here. Faith, let me start with you. It sounds like the mom was on a cocktail of prescription drugs, and as Trace said, we don't know if she was under a doctor's supervision for all of these, but murder of her baby? If the baby only got the drugs through breast milk, do you think murder is the right charge here?
If you knowingly administer a controlled substance to your child and they ultimately die as a result of that, it doesn't matter if it's from a needle, a bottle, or breast milk, you can and should be held responsible. It doesn't matter even if she was taking these drugs because it was on a prescription. She took the extra step of then breastfeeding her child after being warned 5 months earlier that her child had accidentally overdosed from a cocktail of prescription drugs that she was taking. That's the problem here.
Brian, what do you think about whether or not murder is the right charge for her?
Well, Allison, I think murder is not the right charge, and I think it's premature to be charging the mother at this point for any crime. I think what the district attorney in Sacramento County needs to be doing is focusing on the doctors. You tell me how a doctor is prescribing either Xanax or methadone to a mother of an infant child. Remember Conrad Murray and the Michael Jackson case. I think we're missing a whole different component here. It's not like we're dealing with a mom here who was shooting up with heroin or freebasing cocaine. She was taking a prescription
Brian,
drug.
It doesn't matter,
Brian, hold on a second. Obviously, she's on methadone because, I'm assuming she's on methadone because she was a heroin addict. You don't take methadone unless you're trying to kick heroin. So, but the point is that she knew that the methadone and the Xanax that she was on was making her baby lethargic because she had already taken him to the hospital 4 months earlier, and they said, you got to stop breastfeeding him. So just the fact, Faith, that she's still breastfeeding her child tells you that she might not have had his best interest at heart.
That's right, and it's the best interest of the child here. And she knew that the child had accidentally overdosed prior to this incident where he died. So she continued to breastfeed him, and that's what the court is alleging. She continued to do that, knowing that he was at risk and his safety and health were at risk.
Brian, doesn't that change the equation for you, that she was told to stop breastfeeding him?
She was warned to stop breastfeeding. But again, I think you need to look at what was prescribed to her. Was she following her prescription plan? Look, it's a different set of facts if she's taking an illicit drug that wasn't prescribed to her. Then I'd agree with you and Faith. But if you've got a situation where she's following a regimen from a doctor, then I think you need to take a close look at the doctor. Maybe there's criminal negligence on the part of the doctor.
Well, sure, but that's for her health. What it sounds like, Brian, you're saying is that's for her health. She may have been legitimately prescribed these for her health to try to kick drugs or whatever was happening with her. But why would she still be breastfeeding her child?
That's right.
the added wrinkle.
Because she's got maybe she has a mental health issue. Maybe she really truly does have a mental health issue. Maybe she's not a drug addict. We need to be considering the mental health aspect of this as well. I just don't think that the district attorney has canvassed through enough information to make these charges. I think this is a public relations stint because of the baby Sammy incident that happened with the same CPS agency a few months ago that your show did a great job of covering.
Okay,
I think that's why they're quick to charge her.
The doctor did not order her to breastfeed her child, even if she was on prescription drugs. She wasn't ordered to do that. That was her choice, and she did that after being warned to stop because it was detrimental to her child's health.
But again,
we don't even know the results, Allison, of the autopsy. What is the true cause of death? Do we know that?
Yes,
we don't know.
do.
Is it the methadone? Well, I haven't seen a toxicology report.
It was a cocktail mix. Xanax, methadone, the exact drugs that the mother was taking.
Let's interview the doctors and then we'll talk more about it.
It's an interesting case because obviously many people are on prescription drugs and are still mothers, and you want to make sure that she's not needlessly being charged with murder. However, it does sound like she overlooked a lot of warnings from her doctors. Brian Claypool, Faith Jenkins, thanks for debating it with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, meanwhile,
Thank you,
experts warn